My theory is that for a short gluten development, I mix it for 0 to 2 minutes on second speed. And I'll show you the effect once it's done. So after the second speed mixing procedure, you always check your gluten development. And remember, this is what we call the short mixing method. So there should be little to no gluten development. You can see right here how it's starting to tear very quickly. My theory is that on a laminated dough, that your strength development happens during the lamination procedure and not during the mixing time. Once the dough is finished mixing, you spray your container with a little pan release, take the smooth part of the dough, flip it to the bottom, flip it over, so that you have the top covered with a little bit of oil so that as it expands, no crust will form. Always take a temperature reading, and again, remember that 75 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal dough temperature for fermentation. Next thing we do is we cover it with a lid, set our timer, and allow it to go through the bulk fermentation stage. We work with cold butter. And again, if you're doing this mass production, I would probably recommend putting your spiral mixer, turn it on first speed, and get it nice and pliable. Old-fashioned way, get your frustrations out and use a rolling pin. Nowadays, or still nowadays, add flour to it. I try not to add any flour to my butter. I prefer having it in the dough. Next thing I do is I take a piece of parchment paper, roll it into the corner, turn it 90 degrees, roll it forward a little bit, this way a little bit, open it up, clean up the edges, fill in low spots. Has gone through its bulk fermentation, take it and press it into half a sheet pan. It's with parchment lined. Push it to each corner. Then put it into a plastic bag or wrap it with some plastic film and put it into the fridge overnight for a cold fermentation procedure. The next morning you take it out, degas it, and put it into freezer half an hour before you start the lamination procedure. After your dough has been in the freezer for approximately half an hour to 40 minutes, you want to make sure that your dough becomes twice the size of your butter block. And the key is, when you're laminating, always make sure that your consistency of your dough and your fat is identical. Remove the parchment paper. Fold the two tops together and pinch them creating a seam. Then I'm going to sheet this out to about 13 inches wide, rotate it 90 degrees, and sheet it down to a number 9. Now what I like to do is on these ends, I like to just clean them up with a pastry wheel. I use this scrap piece of dough as my pat for maintaining in a sweet dough, or you can use it in the next cycle of your laminated doughs. I take this, I fold it into thirds. Make sure everything is nice and square. Fold the top layer on top. Feed the belly, which is the rounded side right here, into the sheeter. One more time, sheet it to 13 inches wide, rotate it 90 degrees, and sheet it down to number. Back into the freezer for about half an hour until you give it the third tri-fold. This allows the dough to relax properly so that it doesn't strain or stress the gluten development. After half an hour in the freezer, you give it the last tri-fold. Place it into the half sheet pan. And if you care to, you can freeze it now, completely solid, or put it into the freezer for about half an hour, then put it into the fridge for overnight fermentation, and then process your laminated dough the third day into whatever shapes you want to do.